think the in the longer term, up until 2030, there's we see a lot of the aging mines on the copper mines coming off production in 2030 and beyond. So I think the demand for copper, molybdenum as well is going to be in short supply as we move forward beyond 2030s. The important point for me is that you got to start any project on a good footing. You got to make sure that the community you're working in is on board with you, and that is the secret to success in any project.
Welcome back to the Market Frontlines. I'm Lyndsay Malchuk with Abaton Media here at the Vancouver Mining Club event at the Global Lounge in beautiful downtown Vancouver. Now, copper is back at the center of the global conversation. Supply gaps are widening, demand is accelerating, and the market is starting to reward scale, grade, and timing in a very different way. Right now, I'm joined by CEO of DLP Resources, a company advancing a growing Copper-Moly South Peru project with silver footprint in there as well, with one project moving toward a critical economic milestone and another emerging from grassroots discovery in one of the most prolific copper belts in the world. Ian, it is so great to have you here. Thank you for sitting with me.
It's a pleasure being here. Thank you very much for your invitation.
This has been quite the event. I know we are upstairs, kind of away from it all, but downstairs it is packed. The energy is high. People are happy. What do you see down there?
I agree. I think markets are definitely on the resources side, copper in particular, and gold are looking good. So,
oh my gosh!
Downside down there, we have many people crowding in. So
for sure,
we see a good event.
We see that global or gold is definitely the mothership, which some will say will always be the mothership. Then silver sort of stepped in, and they're like that uncle that's like, but wait, I have a perspective.
Right.
But now here's the crazy cousin copper going, wait a second, don't forget about me. And that's, I think, very, very unique right now, we'll say.
Absolutely. And I think, looking back and a year and a half ago, where the silver was and silver price, we with this Aurora project that we have in southern part of Peru.
Yeah.
It's a copper molybdenum with silver.
Yeah.
But the silver price we used in the initial resource calculation, to get to where we are right now was, I think, $23 an ounce on the silver side. Mm-hmm. And copper we used $4 a pound. So, looking back and saying, well, okay, $4 now, we up at $6, and silver's up at 70 plus, 73 plus.
Where we're sitting now, wow.
Unbelievable. So
these are good times right now.
And we need to work on it.
So your silver and your copper, are they secondary?
No. So the Aurora project in the Peru that we're speaking about is it has 1 billion tons. Okay. It has 80 million ounces of silver associated as a byproduct.
Okay.
And we have 2 million tons of copper associated with that.
Okay. And how's the grades of those?
And so the copper grades are relatively low, but interesting. They're 0.2% copper. And on the moly side, this is probably one of the highest grade molybdenum deposits in the world currently.
Yeah, that's
we're looking good currently, and hopefully we'll have a good PEA coming out in June.
Already exciting news. So let's start then with the macro aspects of this. With copper tightening globally, where do you believe the market is still underestimating the opportunities right now?
I think in the longer term, up until 2030. There's we see a lot of the aging mines on the copper mines coming off production in 2030 and beyond. Yeah. So I think the demand for copper, molybdenum as well is going to be in short supply as we move forward beyond 2030s.
Okay.
So the long-term view for us is that it takes a long time to develop a mine. So
gosh, it sure does.
It's 10, 15 years before you get that thing into production. Mm-hmm. So this is the correct time to be actually having resources identified.
Yeah.
And try and move that towards that period of by 2030 and beyond. You actually in a phase of possible production, or at least moving ahead and getting that.
I love that. Now, Aurora is stepping into, as you said, the PEA phase right now. What does that moment represent for you internally? And further to that, I mean, what should the market be paying very close attention to when the numbers start coming out?
Yeah, I think, the important part for everyone is to have a foundation of the economics of a project.
Okay.
And until it's been done by a third party, independent party, you really can't put that out to the public and put a value on it.
Okay.
So for us, it's a sort of a start of, okay, this is the valuation of the project. What is the NPV? What is the IRR?
Mm-hmm.
What is the life of mine? And how much copper is going to come out of it? Because that puts everything in perspective for the long term, and also attracting strategic partners.
Okay.
I mean, we all know the resources on this front is they're in short supply. So strategic partners will come back and say, okay, this is the type of world-class deposit that we need, and we're willing to pay X amount for it, and or get involved in the project to take it through to the feasibility and development stage. So for us, the PEA is a pretty important part for advancing the project.
Yeah, that's a huge catalyst for sure. Absolutely. Now, what about the challenges? Because there is challenges, and if we need to pull the curtain back, we will, for investors to know what is your challenges and how do you navigate through them.
I think, challenges is on various fronts. You obviously have political risk in any country.
Yeah.
You have community issues that may come with it, and environmental issues that go with that as well.
Okay.
But I think, the important point for me is that you got to start any project on a good footing.
Okay.
You got to make sure that the community you're working in is on board with you.
Yes.
And that is the secret to success in any project.
Right.
So, we've spent a lot of time with the community out of which we work, explain to them what we're doing, how this project is going to progress. And we've got a community agreement in place. We're about to extend it for another 6 years with them. So the support is there for the project and for us to continue working on the project.
Well, that's the thing is, like, more and more when we talk about the biggest challenges, community does come up. And,
sure.
I've said this before in one of the earlier interviews. If you don't have that community support, you're really not going anywhere.
You're not going anywhere.
And you have to sort of develop that in the private sector before it becomes something bigger. And the communication and that talk, just the communication is
Correct.
so vital.
It's the most important part.
Yeah.
No project will advance if you don't get the support from the community. And I think, from the grassroots stage, you need to be there. And I think all top company people should be on the ground because that's the trust building factor.
Wow.
So for me, that's an important piece. They want you to be there. They want to be speaking to the person at the top of the company, and they want to know where this project's going. And you, as the head of the company, needs to be on the ground talking to them. And that's, for me, the most important thing you can do for
I absolutely
a project.
support that 100%. Let's flip over here. This is not a typical copper system that you have, for sure. The moly component is very, very meaningful, Ian. So how does that shift the long-term economics and the type of strategic interest the project actually could attract?
Yeah, the Aurora project, because of the combination of having copper and molybdenum as the two primary metals, the molybdenum component of Aurora is really significant. This is probably one of the highest grade molybdenum deposits in the world currently.
Wow.
We have about 50% copper and about 50% molybdenum in terms of that 10 billion copper equivalent pounds that are in the ground there. So molybdenum, not many people know of this metal or understand it, but it's a critical metal in Canada. It's used in the steel strengthening industry. It's used in the green energy space.
Is it in defense?
It's in defense. Okay. It's a very critical metal for defense.
In what aspect?
In all aspects for the high temperature of molybdenum
Okay.
is an incredibly high temperature metal.
Okay.
So the melting point of that is like 2,600 degrees centigrade.
So they put
So
it
they
like
need it. They need it in all the high missiles, the missile tips, drones, even drones for the strengthening of drones as a light metal in that as well.
And I ask
So-
this because, unfortunately, there's a lot of in following the money. And
Yes,
right now,
correct.
where the money is going is not always the prettiest place, we'll say.
Correct.
So, yeah, that's why I asked, is it part of defense? What would you say the market is just still not understanding about DLP?
I think we've found this deposit. Well, it's been known for a while. I first visited in 2015, but beyond that, we started working on the project in 2022. So 2015, that was with a different company. We did an agreement in 2021 with them, with the Peruvian entity, and since then that project, we've drilled 22,000 meters of drilling on it, which is a short time period
Yeah.
to get to where we are right now, a
Yeah.
billion tons of that metal that we have in the ground. So we really haven't exposed that to the market, to what is needed.
Okay.
And I think that's been holding us back. And also the PEA coming out, I think, is an important piece for moving
That's a
the
big
stock
piece.
price as well.
Absolutely.
So-
If you could give investors one piece of advice for DLP, what would it be?
I would say that Aurora is a project that's a world-class size. It's going to be developed at some point, and Aurora is not the only project we have. We have the Esperanza project, which is could be even better, and in a very, very important location in the southern part of Peru. So there's a value that we're not seeing on the Esperanza project currently in the share price. We haven't. I don't think the market's included that at all.
Right.
So that's an important piece of information which we'd like to work on this year and get that out to the market. And we'll be doing more drilling. We will be doing
Right.
the first phase of drilling in September on the Esperanza. So
Great,
that
great
should
insights.
increase
And, for investors out there watching, you haven't missed the boat.
No.
There is opportunity still there, and companies like this is that opportunity knocking at your door. Thank you again for sitting with us. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the time, and thank you again.
Absolutely. That was Ian Gendall, CEO of DLP Resources, trading on the TSX Venture under DLP. Now, as the copper market tightens and the race for meaningful scale intensifies, companies that can actually define size and economics are the ones that get pulled forward. I'm Lyndsay Malchuk, and this is the Market Frontlines. Watch who delivers, not who just talks. We'll see you next time.